I'm gonna get as much food in this little garden area space as I possibly can to prepare my family. We may just have enough food to feed us through the summertime or to supplement our diet through the summertime. But the way I feel about it is any amount of food that I can grow, I consider a success, and I won't grow food if I don't try. Neither will you. I just encourage all of you to get your hands in the dirt, take off your shoes and walk around barefoot for a little while and just really enjoy the earth and the dirt and all the creatures and plants that come along with it. It's a really beautiful world.
Oh, down!
That escalated quickly. Oh my gosh. This is the snow that we're getting right now. This is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Look at it out here. It's Dippin' Dots. How is it?
Yeah, yummy.
Hi friends, welcome back to Rising. My name is Katie and today we are in the Victory Garden. Slow start to the season. We are in the high desert in the Pacific Northwest and we're still having freezing temperatures at night, but I'm gonna go ahead and I've gotten some things into the ground and so far so good, enough to where I can cover them individually with little pods if I need to, should we have another night of freezing. But everything so far is doing well. I've transplanted a whole bunch of strawberries, so I'm going to show you those, how well they're doing. I'm going to transplant more. I just have to get back down to the strawberry patch and dig up some more because I still have some pools I want to fill with them. And we also have raspberries down there. I think I'm just gonna let the raspberries go wild in that area because they're taking over where the strawberries are. So that's partially why I want to move the strawberries. Plus the deer have been getting in down there. And so, yeah, I'm gonna show you what else I have going on. I also need to water my garden. I put in some tomato plants last night and I also put in my cabbages, some other things. So let me show you guys my little tour, give you a little garden update. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, this channel is all about holistic homemaking, lifestyle, and parenting. I love to share with you nourishing meal prep and all the things that I do to take care of my family. So one of those is trying to grow a garden in this climate that we live in. So yeah, come along and let's. I'm gonna grow some new little baby starts with this variegated plant. So I'm clipping above the nodes so it can grow roots, and then tending to all my little baby plants that I'm, at this time, this is beginning of May, I still have them inside under a grow light during certain times of the day. As it gets, some of our days have been freezing cold. The other day it snowed, as you saw. So I'm just taking extra care of them before I get them planted. In the next week or two, I'm going to start hardening these outside, taking them out during the day and bringing them back in at night. So in my yard, I'm just walking around and in this lush green area, I know that I have some mushrooms and I've looked up the mushroom and it appears that this beautiful little violet or purple colored mushroom is an indigo milk cap. So I am going to do a spore test with it and examine it a little further just to be sure. Lactarius indigo is the scientific name for it. Indigo milk cap. So I'm going to do the spore test on it. It does have gills. This is a gilled mushroom. It is edible. Some people like the flavor, some people do not. And I'm going to look around. I think there's a few more in here. But this is ready to go. It's so pretty. More little mushrooms. They don't look as fresh as this one, so once they start to turn kind of a grayish color, they're no longer as delicious. So here's one right here, down in there. I'll see if I can grab that one. And this was such a beautiful little surprise. So Annika went and grabbed our mushroom book and I compared with some images online and also some features online, and that is appearing that what it is, but we are going to do the spore test just to be sure. These are a little bit older, so they're not as round, and they also grew up in some really tall grass. That's why you see the shape that they are. It's because they were in tall grass. They weren't growing on ground where they could grow and spread naturally. The grass was kind of impeding it, so that's why it's rippled around the edges. And I broke one, but we will see if it has some of the blue juice on the inside that is characteristic of this. They said it will start to bleed a blue or indigo juice, but I'm not seeing it yet, so we're just going to check these out. I'm going to leave them here, and we'll come back and check them in a few hours and see what those spores underneath look like. So there's the stalks. We'll see what those do. My little foraging experiment here.
Yeah, Katie said, she's like, we got to pick up pine cones. I'm like, oh, I'll get the golf cart out and I'll pick up some pine cones. Cool.
They're all wearing it. I need to go to the store and get some more potatoes, but my potatoes are starting to come up right here. Here's some. All of my little onion starts that I planted last week or the other week are coming up now too. I'll show you some more stuff going on in the garden. Here's our rhubarb. It's coming along. The transplants that I transplanted. This one's doing really good. I didn't mess with it this year, but the other ones are struggling just a little bit as they get established. Here's the garlic. So I've got a good bit of garlic, but I wish I planted more. Now that I know we're gonna be planting some more in there. So these are all of my leeks. And do I see any leeks popping up yet? I don't know. I don't think those are leeks. Those aren't my leeks. I don't know. What did I plant here? Somebody help me out. Do you remember? Because I see lots of little starts, but I don't see leek starts. So, what did I plant in here? Besides pine trees, because there's lots of pines coming up everywhere. The pines grow good here in the Pacific Northwest. And then all of my onions are popping off. You ever accidentally leave your plants out overnight? And oh my goodness, thank goodness the deer didn't come up on the porch and eat them. Thank goodness it did not frost last night. It frosted the night before to the point where the porch was so frozen it was slippery to walk on. And my silly self left all of my babies out last night. I woke up in a panic, but they're fine. I didn't peek at them until I got the kids off to school, and then I came out here and praise the Lord. They are all safe and sound. And I think that they're probably hardened off now because it's pretty cold. It just didn't get cold enough to freeze or frost. So I may be able to put these in the ground this weekend, hopefully. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And I also want to go and pick up some more plants. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, this is what we have. Well, I haven't put them in the place they're gonna go yet. I just spaced them out to see if they would all fit there. If I needed to get some more, I need to put some bricks in that last one right there. Throw one of the soils in because it's gonna blow away. It's so windy today. You probably hear it in the microphone, but also got to get this over the fence. And then up here in the pig area, I have a bunch of piles of dirt and composted pig manure stuff. So I'm gonna be using that. And then of course I need to drill holes in them. And once we have holes drilled in them, that'll help them drain, and you need at least 2 holes. So I'll probably just stick one at the bottom where, based on the grade and elevation, I'll place one where I think it needs to be, so that it has a little bit of drainage, but also while holding a little bit of moisture in there. Of course, it'll all be down at one end, so some of the plants might benefit more than the others. However, we're hillsided. I'm gonna try to make them as flat as possible and get them planted. And you can see up the hill, I've got a tree right there, and some other things that I need to water. Garlic's on fleek back there. I'm gonna plant some more. I think I still have time to get garlic in the ground. I have a bunch of rows going behind the pools, and I need to get some wildflowers and some other things planted over here. I was thinking about planting some grains over there. We have deer and stuff, so I think the deer would probably eat them. But, just to experiment. In the meantime, I've got some netting up around the top part of my garden fence. I know that's not going to permanently work, but it'll work for this season, in this temporary season. And then I have a gate right here made out of netting that I stretch across there. So that helps too. I also have some deer netting, 100 foot by, I can't remember, that I'm going to use over top of these. That way, at least if my rest of my garden gets snuck into and the deer get in there, my pools will be protected. So I'm going to be throwing netting over those. I'm going to put some stakes in the ground, and yeah, we'll see how all of this goes. We'll see how it evolves, because right now it's evolving like this. These were $9 from the Family Dollar store. So yeah, go out and get yourself some little container pools. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in them. I'll probably put some strawberries in some, and I've got to transplant a bunch of strawberries. I've got a bunch of herbs growing here, so I need to weed it. But if you look along the right side next to these bricks, all the way up through there, I've got some little tiny plants growing. I also have some basil growing in there. So I need to go through. I thought about just like letting everything go wild, but I've got to weed it already. So basically over here at the pig pen, I had some composting pig areas, and a lot of it is mixed in with hay. I've got this pile right here. I've got another pile in there. Basically, I'm working on getting stuff to put in those pools. So I'm going to put potting soil in first, and then to give it some drainage in the bottom, I'm going to mix this in on top with some more potting soil. So yeah, this is all going to go down there. I don't have an easy way to get it there, so just wheelbarrowing it around the garden, I think. I could, you know what I might do? Oh yeah, I'm doing that instead. All right, so we're gonna cut the ties on this and open this up. Sweeping off the front porch. I'm trying to make it nice and pretty. And I'm just looking around the house for my to-do list, because I know in the next 4 years we're gonna be selling this house and we've got a lot of work to do. Somebody got into the food grade diatomaceous earth I had sprinkled around the other side of the house, so he looks like he's been partying all night long. Acting like it too. We're also gonna do a little bit of a garden tour. So basically it's just more spring cleanup. It's not quite summer yet, at least I don't think it is. I think Memorial Day is coming up. I'm not in the loop. Life's been just insane busy lately. So yeah, just gonna give you a little show around the outside and go check out the garden, get some more cleaning up done. Yeah, lots of things to do. There's always things to do. If you want to join the Rouse Rising family, click the subscribe button and stay up to date with all of my latest uploads. Hit that notification bell. All right, it's time to sweep off this porch again. It should be a weekly chore of mine, but I probably get to it monthly in the warmer months. In the wintertime, often it gets shoveled, and we deal with cleaning it off when it needs to be shoveled from the snow. So right now I'm just going to, this is the second time this spring that I have swept it off. So I've got to get all of the pine cones and everything, all the pine needles and dust. We live on a dirt road, so our house just gets covered in dust. And it is a recurrent chore just to keep everything outside dust free. So I'm always sweeping, or the kids like to sweep out here. So right now I'm starting up at the top and sweeping all the cobwebs down. And from there, I will then sweep everything off into the flower bed down below, where we will then rake it up with all the other debris down there and get those areas cleaned up too. We also have to clean out the gutter. I've cleaned out the gutter once this year, or not this year, but this spring I've already cleaned it out once. But we have lots of pine cones and lots of pine needles that fall into the gutters, so they need to be cleaned out frequently as well. That's life living in the woods. My youngest toddler down there, you see, just free range baby all day long. He gives me a run for my money. So I had him up on the porch, and you guys are going to see in a little bit, even though it's sped up. But when he was on the porch, he was trying to climb down off the porch. He was trying to jump off the side. He's just a handful right now. So between dealing with him, I can get a little bit done here. So there he goes off the side of the porch. He threw the snow shovel down and he was trying to go after it. So that's life with a row baby. My two other boys were the exact same. Okay, when you first enter into my garden, I've got a little herbal garden area here that I've dedicated to my mother-in-law and my mother. It's my little herbal memorial garden. Right here we have some lemon balm, we have some thyme, some rosemary, some marjoram. We've got stevia right there, and we've got, let's see, what is this? Hyssop. We've got this hyssop plant right here. So if these grow and expand beyond the space that I've given them, I will divide them out and plant them front to back, or I will just extend my garden up that way, my little herbal garden. I also have more lemon balm and basil I'm trying to grow all the way down through here, as well as cilantro seeds that I planted. And then right here we have a peppermint off by itself. I have enough space. I don't care if this goes wild, or maybe next year, if I'm still here, we'll pot it and put it in a container so that it's not going wild, because I know that mint and lemon balm can take off, but our winters are so harsh, I don't know if they'll survive. So here's some of our strawberries. The leaves, the old leaves are wilted, but there's new growth. All the roots are super resilient, so they're doing great in some areas. And then back here behind all the strawberries, we've got our different red cabbages, and we've got some green cabbages growing. Some didn't make it, some did not make the transplant, and some are doing really well. The purple ones are doing well. I grew cabbage really well here a couple years ago, and the deer ate them all. So they got in right the week I was gonna harvest, and they ate everything. So this year we're doing a better job to prevent the deer. All right, in here we have a determinate tomato plant that will only get so big, so we're not gonna make it vine on or climb on anything. And then here, I honestly don't remember what these are. These might be bush beans. They look like they're bush beans. So I planted 4 bush beans and then surrounded this whole container with strawberries, and they are doing pretty well. And right here, I don't know if this is a pepper or another bush bean, but we did the same here, and we also transplanted a bunch of strawberries. Here we have an empty pool and some more empty pools that I need to deal with, as well as more strawberries. So I've got plenty more strawberries to plant. And then over here, as you can see, my rhubarb is slow. This is a 4-year plant, I believe, and it's just not really growing that much. I'm gonna give it some, or I already gave it some organic feed, and I'm going to be watering all of my garden today. Here, this row, the only spinach that survived was this plant, so I need to replant my spinach. Then all of our garlic is doing really well. It's almost time probably to harvest those in the next, I don't know, month or two, I would say. Then here we've got a variety of lettuce. Again, slow to grow, but I'm going to throw some organic worm casings and some feed in this trough. And what I've been doing is just troughing for my garden, like digging down a trough so that all the water just kind of soaks this area and doesn't go down the hill. Because this is a hillside and I'm not going to disturb it to terrace it. So here we have some more, I think this is some kind of kale in here. We've got purple kale, so a variety of kales in here. And then we've got some more variety of mixed greens in this area. Over here, I still don't see much happening as far as leeks. I transplanted some leeks. They're not doing that great. I'll probably try to plant some seeds again, but leeks didn't do as well as onions. So we've got onions. My potatoes back here are growing, as well as some sunflower plants. My pollinating plants, my flowers for pollinators. Okay, we've got all of our tomato plants right here. I'm gonna put cages on these. If I need to, I'll put up a heavier gauged, because this obviously isn't gonna work. This is just flimsy string, but got it there for the meantime. And then I'll put the cages up and they can climb on the string in the cages. But here we have beets. I need to plant another row of beets. I also thought about planting my climbing beans along here, but I might have to do something different for that. And here we have beets and carrots. They're still not popping up too many areas, if at all, honestly. I think I may have failed my carrot crop. But right here, we see a little tiny baby leek. So I'm just looking for more leeks along here, wondering if they grew at all over here. I don't think so. One leek. Oh, there's some more right there. So we've got a few more leeks popping up along this line. I don't see any carrots. And then, I don't remember what I planted here, but I've got some stuff, maybe it's more beets down there. And I planted some leeks along here. We've also got some onions, but the onions, not many of the seeds that I planted in the ground grew. My sunflowers are doing really great. I could probably do some more sunflowers, but I'm doing the best I can with the time that I have and the resources I have. So one of my friends just gave me a big bucket of potatoes. So I've got to get our pallet that's down there. I've got to get my pallet moved, and I'm going to put all the buckets on the pallet and start growing some potatoes as well in buckets. So that has to be done. I need some more potting soil, but I'm just one foot in front of the other. You guys can do this with me, one foot in front of the other. Let's grow some small things. I've got a bunch of things down here on the table on the porch still growing that I still need to get into the ground. And I'm also going to be buying some plants from Azure. I'm also going to be visiting the local nurseries. I'm going to get as much food in this little garden area space as I possibly can to prepare my family. We may just have enough food to feed us through the summertime or to supplement our diet through the summertime. But the way I feel about it is any amount of food that I can grow, I consider a success, and I won't grow food if I don't try. Neither will you. So you can grow something in your window. You can get out to a little space in your yard, grow something out in the yard, but I just encourage all of you to get your hands in the dirt, take off your shoes and walk around barefoot for a little while and just really enjoy the earth and the dirt and all the creatures and plants that come along with it. It's a really beautiful world to get outside and just enjoy your time. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will be sure to share with you guys some more about my garden, some more tips and tricks, things that I'm trying out here at my location to hopefully grow some plants. I apologize about the lighting. I don't have any shade right here. But anyways, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye.